What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am Jordan. As you can see, I am by myself. We are social distancing to the fullest, and we are hopping back out into the garage, making sure everything is lined up and ready to go for the body of the RTR Spec 2, and then we're going to do a little bit of engine stuff, so stay tuned. Got some goodies in the mail today. So there is our old core support. Here's the new ones. Right now I put the bump stops for one side of the hood in, as well as the radiator mounts for the top. I'm gonna start switching everything over and see what really does carry over so we can get this mounted onto the car and see how it changes the alignment of all these panels. Okay, so I got the core support in here. Went ahead and put all the bolts down for the bumper, as well as put in the radiator shroud. I really don't want to get the thing scratched up, but I do want to make sure everything fits and closes the way it needs to be with everything in there. We also got our bumper mount here in the corner. We're still waiting on the delivery of the one on the driver's side, but we don't really need it for what we're doing right now. So we're going to go ahead and drop this down and make sure it works. So looking at it, it lines up a little bit better. There is more of a gap there that I would like, though, but we also don't have the hood pin in, the hood latch in, so that should bring it down a little bit. But I don't know, I'm wondering if maybe these bump stops here are different on the 18 to 20 than what they are on the car that we have here, because I removed them from the 15-17, so that's another thing I'm going to have to check. Everything else, though, should be exactly where it needs to be. Any of that stuff that's over there really shouldn't be in the way to where it's causing this thing to lift up higher than what it should be. I'm sure everybody's seen in the background of these videos, we've had this table up for a while. We had it up when we were disassembling the engine. I like to have these out now because it helps me organize a little bit. But as we've been going along, as you can see, this has got a little disheveled. What we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to start organizing the table. Okay, so we're going to do a take two, considering I had the radio on the entire time. I don't know how much copyrighted music ended up on this. So anyways, we got the whole table cleaned up, as you can see right here. Got the transmission down there, as well as the engine block down there. We have our valve covers sitting here. I do have new gaskets coming for those. We have our rear main seal, which I'm getting a new one of these on this back plate, as well as we have our oil pump here, our cam gear, and then inside, which I still need to remove, is the oil pump gear. Here we have all of our bolts. Now, I do know what most of them go to, but unfortunately I do not know what all of them go to. So that's going to be fun and interesting when we decide to hop back into this. Here we have our oil sump. Then we have all of our pistons. I have gone through and pulled out all of the piston rod bearings, and I have them sitting off to the side. So I am going to polish these up a little bit, make sure they're nice and clean before we put them back in there. We have our harmonic balancer. We have all of our coils sitting right here. We have our oil pan right here. And one thing I did notice is I thought everything was good, but when I pulled this thing out, I started to notice we got a crack and some damage here in the corner, if it will focus. So it does look like we got a little bit of damage here in the corner, as well as some scuffing there, so that probably happened as it was sitting on the ground. Probably tripped over it knowing myself. So this piece here is trash. I don't know what it's called, but it goes in between the pan and the bottom of the engine. I do know where to order a new one from, and that's all that matters. Over here we have our water pump, and then we have all of our rod bearings. So as you can see, the majority of these here are pretty good, but these ones here are our damaged ones. You can see how it's grooved there on the edges of this one, which sat next to our one that went out. This one here was slightly grooved, and then this one here is the one that collapsed upon itself and folded up and caused all of our damage. Now, I probably could have saved a lot of these, but I figure since I'm going to be going in there, might as well replace them all now anyway. in case this were going to happen again in the future, which I hope that it does not. Here in the engine, we just got to start getting it cleaned up now that I'm losing light. And we got to pull out all of our main bearings here because we're also going to be replacing those. And then this oil cooler here, as you can see, kind of got bent when we laid this on the tire. So that's causing a little bit of an issue, but we are replacing this anyway with a new unit, so that whole thing is going to be coming off. Once everything shows up, we're going to go ahead and start replacing everything, putting all the new stuff in there. I really wish where I ordered all of my bearings, my crankshaft and whatnot from, that it would have shipped already, but they did say there's a part that's out of stock and they're going to wait until everything shows up to ship it out, which sucks for me because I want to get started, but at the same time I understand I paid for shipping and they don't want to have to pay out of their pocket for shipping because something wasn't in stock, even though it would have been nice to have that up on the website. But hey, whatever, the parts are going to get here, it's going to be good. They're all good original Ford parts. As far as the car itself is concerned, we need to do something about this bracket, so we're going to be able to bolt this in. We're probably just going to do a little extension on here and then paint it to match. And then the only stock part that I still need is the headlights. These things, I'm seeing them go for about $250 to $300, sometimes $400 for damaged ones with missing tabs or cracks or scuffs. They're going for around $600 to $900 for new units individually. I do know that new from Ford, they're about $1,000. And then I have seen some knockoffs that are going for around $600 to $700 for both. My issue with the knockoffs is if you look at an actual stock Mustang like Gabby's or the Series 1 right here, you can see there's a pony right there in the corner, and that lets you know that this is an authentic Ford product from the outside. Now, my question is it worth the extra money just so that pony is there? I don't really know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Would you save the money and just get the knockoffs off of eBay, or would you shell out the money for the authentics from Ford? I don't know. I'm kind of split on it, and that's why I haven't gotten those yet. Other than that, this thing is going to be good to go once we get all the parts in. We have everything ordered that we need to put the engine back in, minus that piece that I just found out was busted. And then we're going to be able to get it in, fire it up, make sure everything is good to go. Originally, if you saw the first video that we did where everything started shutting down, we thought it was an electrical issue, so hopefully it's not an electrical issue. Once we get the engine in there and try and fire it up, we're going to find out very quickly whether or not it was an electrical issue. Hopefully, we don't damage anything else. Once all that's done, it's getting the Spec 5 fender flares, which I'm just waiting for them to arrive in at RTR. There's usually like a 4 to 6 week lead time. We don't buy them in bulk because it's not beneficial for us to put a lot of them on the shelf. When they do sell well, but not like a grill or our wheels, which we can keep those readily in stock. So once those come in, we can get that and then start prepping the whole body for paint. I believe I've decided we're going to go with Grabber Blue, unless anybody else sells different, which they haven't, so I'm thinking we're going to go ahead and keep it Grabber Blue. After that's done, we'll move on to the rest of the car. Okay, everybody, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed getting some progress done on the car, making some purchases, hurting my stomach because I'm emptying my wallet so much to get this thing up and running, but it's worth it. I absolutely love that car. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and follow us as we finish up the RTR Spec 2. Until next time, peace.